Hello and welcome to the U-Parts Group Windshield Wiper Transmission Linkage installation video. The windshield wiper linkage transmits the motion of the proper motor to the wiper arm and blade. Over time, the wiper linkage can become bent and worn. This is especially true if the wipers are used in a region where heavy snow and ice accumulate during the winter. A bent or broken windshield wiper linkage can cause the wipers to move out of sequence or prevent your wipers from working altogether. Obviously, this is a safety issue, so don't let your wiper linkage go unrepaired. This job has been considered an easy difficulty level of installation by our technicians. The suggested time for this job is about 30 minutes to 45 minutes as per our technicians. Here's a list of materials and tools needed for this operation. Pliers wrench and/or wrench, flathead screwdriver, clip removal tool, trim tool and/or pry bar, ratchet, extension and sockets of the appropriate size, battery power wrench, wiper arm puller if needed, protective gloves, safety glasses. Today we are going to replace the windshield wiper linkage on a Hyundai Santa Fe 2013 using U-Parts Group part number WLSA13. Here are some additional information on U-Parts Group part number. The U-Parts Group. Part number is WLSA13. This application will fit all Hyundai Santa Fe from 2013 to 2019, and Hyundai Santa Fe Sport from 2013 to 2018, as well as Hyundai Santa Fe XL from 2013 to 2019. The Hyundai OEM part number is 98120-4. Z000. The Hollander part number is 621-54577. The Canadian Tire, part number 021-2077, and the Dorman Products, part number 602-951. How to change a wiper linkage on a Hyundai Santa Fe 2013 using U-Parts Group replacement. Part number WLSA13. To replace the linkage, we would have to open the hood of the vehicle. Before we remove the wiper arms, it's recommended to mark the position of the two wiper arms, so we can reinstall them to the same position after replacing the wiper transmission linkage. Next, we will remove the two nut covers of the wiper arm. One is on the driver's side wiper arm, and the other is on the passenger side wiper arm. We can use a pick tool or a small flat screwdriver to get underneath the nut cover and pry it up. To remove the wiper arm nut, we will use a 14mm socket. To remove the wiper arm, we can use the wiggling motion up and down. This motion will release the wiper arm from the shaft of the wiper linkage. If you are having trouble removing the wiper arms, you can use a wiper arm puller. After removing the two wiper arms, we will set them aside. Before removing the cowl panel, we will have to remove the 5 push pins that run along the cowl panel using a clips removal tool, trim removal tool. We must be extremely careful with the windshield washer hose that runs under the cowl panel on the passenger side of the cowl. We will also need to remove the driver's side plastic fender trim. To remove the driver's side plastic fender trim, we need to remove 4 push pins, 1 on top and 3 on the side. We also need to remove the dust guard foam of the cowl panel on the driver's side. To remove the cowl panel, we must grab the cowl panel, lift it up and tilt it out to the front of the vehicle. We have 2 options here. We can either disconnect the windshield washer hose and remove the cowl panel completely, or we can simply sit the cowl diagonally on top of the engine and still have access to the wiper linkage and work with it. In this case, we are leaving the cowl diagonally on top of the engine. Before removing the wiper linkage, we would have to remove the 3 10mm bolts that mounted the wiper linkage to the cowl dash panel, as well as disconnecting the wiper motor plug. First, remove the drive side bolt using a 10mm socket. Then remove the bolt from the center bracket of the wiper motor using a 10mm socket. Then remove the passenger side bolt using a 10mm socket. To remove the wiper linkage assembly, simply lift it up from the cowl dash panel toward the front of the vehicle. Disconnect the wiper motor plug while removing the wiper linkage assembly. There is a little tab on the connector. We would have to press on that tab to unlock and remove the wiper motor plug. After removing the wiper linkage assembly, we will put it on a workbench. Before working with the broken linkage, it's recommended to compare the broken linkage assembly with the new replacement linkage assembly. We can compare the mounting points of the two wiper linkages, making sure that the two wiper linkages have similar mounting points. We can also measure the distance between the two shafts of the replacement wiper linkage with the broken wiper linkage. If the two distances are equivalent, then we are sure that we have the right replacement wiper linkage. We can then continue the operation. Before removing the wiper motor from the broken wiper linkage, we will mark the position of the crank arm, or we can take a picture of the crank arm position. We will need this starting position when reinstalling the new replacement wiper linkage. We will use a 13mm socket to remove the nut that retains the crank arm to the wiper motor shaft. And to remove the crank arm from the wiper motor shaft, we will use a pry bar to pry the crank arm out. Or we can gently tap on the side of the crank arm to release the crank arm from the wiper motor shaft. We will also remove the wiper motor dust cover out of the wiper motor shaft. Next, we will remove the 3 bolts that retain the wiper motor to the main tube of the wiper linkage. We will use a T30 Torx bit to remove these 3 bolts. After removing the 3 bolts, it will release the wiper motor from the wiper linkage. We will set the old broken wiper linkage aside and position the new replacement wiper linkage to the wiper motor. We will reinstall the wiper motor dust cover to the wiper motor shaft. Then, we will position the wiper linkage bracket, and we will then position the 3 bolts that will retain the wiper motor to the main tube of the wiper linkage. Then, we will secure the 3 bolts using a T30 Torx bit. Next, we will position the crank arm to the wiper motor shaft. Please note that we must position the crank arm to the same position when we remove the old broken linkage. Then, we will install the nut on the wiper motor shaft that retains the crank arm to the wiper motor shaft. We will then secure the nut with a 13mm socket while locking the crank in position. After the installation of the replacement wiper linkage with the wiper motor, we will move the wiper linkage assembly back to the vehicle. First, we will plug in the wiper motor connector. Then, we will align the 3 mounting points of the wiper linkage to the cowl dash panel. Then, we will install the 3 10mm bolts on the mounting points and secure them with a 10mm socket. Next, we will make a quick functional test before reinstalling the cowl panel and the 2 wiper arms. As we can see, everything is perfectly functional. This has shown that we successfully installed the replacement of the wiper transmission linkage. We can now stop the operation of the wiper linkage and go ahead with reinstalling the cowl panel and the 2 wiper arms. To reinstall the cowl panel, we will move the cowl panel back to the windshield and make sure that all hooks under the cowl panel go under the windshield and the 2 wiper linkage shafts fit into the 2 holes on the cowl panel. Then, we will reinstall the 5 push pins to secure the cowl panel to the cowl dash panel. Then, we will reposition the dust guard foam of the cowl panel on the driver's side. Next, we will reinstall the driver's side plastic fender trim and secure the plastic fender trim with 4 push pins, 1 on top and 3 on the side. Before reinstalling the 2 wiper arms, we will remove the 2 nuts on the wiper linkage shafts using a 14mm socket. Next, we will reinstall the two wiper arms. We need to position the wiper arms to the marked position. Same position when we remove the two wiper arms at the beginning. Then we will reinstall the two nuts that retain the two wiper arms in place. And we will secure the two nuts with a 14mm socket while locking the position of the wiper arms. Next, we will reinstall the two nuts cover cap on the two wiper arms. Then we will close the hood and make a final functional test, making sure that everything runs smoothly before completing the installation of the replacement wiper linkage. As we can see, everything is performing perfectly and fully operational. This has completed the installation of the replacement of the wiper linkage on the Hyundai Santa Fe 2013 using U Parts Group part number WLSA13. This has completed our installation video. If you are not yet a U Parts Group YouTube channel member, please subscribe to receive news, products release, as well as new installations videos. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumb up. And if you find this video useful, please share it with your colleague, friends, and families. And for more information about U Parts Group products lines and more installations instructions videos, please visit our website at upartsgroup.com, and thank you for watching.